All right, we are live. Hello, everybody. My name is Sean Hayes, and we are live here at Western Spirit Cycling in Moab, Utah. We're back for another round of our Ask a Guide live series. And this week I'm here with one of our awesome co guides, and this is Brittany, everybody. Tell us about yourself, Brittany.
My name is Brittany, and I've been a guide with Western Spirit for a couple seasons now. And I'm from Boise, Idaho. I learned how to mountain bike in Lake Tahoe, California, and I just got back to Moab from my winter season in Tucson, where I worked at a bakery and I rode single track and just enjoyed warm, sunny weather all winter.
That sounds like a good time.
It was.
A
It was
pleasant
great.
winter in Arizona,
Yeah.
riding single track.
Yep.
Well, cool. Thanks for doing this today, Brittany.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Last time you guys saw us, Mark and I talked to everybody about what a Western Spirit trip is like, what to expect, what's included, what's not included. And thank you for everybody that followed up with questions. And we were able to get some good info out to everybody. This week, we're going to talk about a lot of the new riders that we have signing up for trips. And so we're going to touch on some things like, what to bring, when you should come. If you're a new rider and you just got a bike this year, we've got all the important answers for you. So, Brittany, could you tell us, in your experience, what do new riders on Western Spirit trips? What's ideal for a new rider? Do people come by themselves? Is it a group thing?
Yeah, so the cool thing about Western Spirit trips is that it's not a one size fits all scenario. So, in my experience, we have people who come with a big group of friends, varying ability levels within that friend group. We have families. We can do trips with young kids, teenagers, grandparents. Some of my favorite guests to have on trips are folks that are trying to, check off a bucket list item, or maybe they're out there solo and they just really love biking and they want to travel, and so they come out there and they're just open to meeting new people. So we just get just a whole bunch of different types of people from different walks of life, and a really cool part of a trip experience is seeing how people kind of meld together and seeing them bond over this shared experience. And I know that folks on my trips have become friends and have done more trips together in the future, with people that they just met. And
That's always been a favorite part of
yeah,
my season, was seeing group dynamics and how people kind of bond over this awesome experience.
yeah.
It's super cool.
Yeah. Normally you'll see it on the second night or third night at dinner or by the fire, where people you can sit back and just watch people like chatting and laughing, and so it's really cool.
Yeah, it sounds like there's something out there for everybody
Mm-hmm.
that wants to get into either cycling or maybe hasn't camped before.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a great way for folks to
Yeah.
get out there, have a good time, and see a bunch of cool rides. Another big question we get a lot is, what do I need to bring? We touched on it last time as far as what Western Spirit brings. We have these dialed packing lists that have A to Z what we should bring. What would you bring on a camping trip? Are we packing light? What's the move?
Yeah, so all of our trips are supported, which means that we have vehicles on the trip that will pack all of your gear, so you don't have to carry things, on your person. And so that being said, you can get a little bit, more comfortable with what you bring, especially if you're new to camping. You can bring some of the comforts that you like to have. I personally bring a pillow on all my trips because I'm old.
So that's a must-have.
So
nothing like a comfy camp pillow after a day of shredding.
Yep, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You want to sleep well. So you bring camping gear. You bring whatever you want to ride with. So a pack and a water bladder. Any clothes that you want to wear on while riding your bike, and then also stuff to change into at camp. So a couple, comfy jackets and maybe camp slippers. We'll send out a pretty thorough pack list once you book the trip with us, and that'll help kind of steer you in the right direction as far as, kind of dialing in your packing list. We also do have camping gear that you can rent from us. So if you need a sleeping bag, a sleeping pad, a tent, we can provide those. And we also have a fleet of specialized stump jumpers that are super fun, really great bikes, and you can rent those from us if you don't have a bike that you can bring on a trip. You are welcome to bring your own bike. You can ship it or fly with it or travel with it, and you can take that if you prefer.
That's a great thing to mention, Brittany. What if someone's out on the trail and they experience a mechanical or a flat? Whether it's a rental or their own bike, what's the situation?
So you're welcome to work on your own bike if you like to do that, if you have tools and you enjoy doing mechanics. If you don't know how to work on your bike or you just don't want to work on your bike, we are happy to help you out. All of the guides on your trip, we travel with spare parts, we have tools, we have chain lube, we have everything that you're going to need, and we are happy to help you out with your bike if it needs to be repaired on the trail or at camp. So definitely not something that you have to worry about if it's something that you're not comfortable doing.
And to know how to do it.
That's
key.
Yep. And I do have guests sometimes that will just kind of like watch us work on bikes and ask questions, and we're happy to, teach you, stuff if you've never changed a tire before. Learning moments. Lots of learning moments.
That's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, Sean, I'm sure a lot of people are wondering about our introductory trips. What are some of the best trips that we have in the spring, fall, and the summer?
Absolutely. We can we can chat about some fun intro trips for anybody that's just tuning in with us. I see some questions kind of trickling in. Thank you guys so much. We offer a whole slew of intro trips throughout our whole season. And so, mellow roads, fun single track trips that are geared towards, beginners, introductory riders, would include our Grand Staircase trip, probably one of our most scenic trips. And so when you get out to the Grand Staircase Escalante area, we do some gravel style riding on some really fun scenic gravel roads. And Capitol Reef is a place that isn't quite a drive. It's not a drive-through place. You're not driving through. It's a destination place, which I think is a big draw for folks.
I think it's one of the most beautiful parts of southern Utah.
I agree.
Yeah, it's absolutely stunning out there.
We have a couple great hikes mixed in throughout the trip just to keep things fun. It's a very well-balanced trip. You're going to be on the bike for a good portion of the day. We stretch the legs and walk to some overlooks, see some great views. And it is an intro trip. You're not doing a ton of mileage. You're not doing the long, steep climbs you might do in other places. So that Grand Staircase trip is a ton of fun. Mm-hmm. Similar to the Grand Staircase Escalante would be our newly fashioned trip in the Bears Ears National Monument. We call it our Bears Ears South trip. It's a ton of fun. Kind of the same thing. We have a couple great hikes mixed in. Things you might not see if you were to get out there on your own, or try and drive your low clearance 4-wheel drive Subaru or something out there. I mean, we have the gear to get us out there, the vehicles to get us out there. The riding is spectacular. It's a mixture of, slick rock, hard packed dirt roads, and nothing like pedaling some fun, mellow intro stuff.
Yeah. I think it's actually worth mentioning that one of the greatest things about doing a trip like this and hiring guides and a guiding company is that we've done all of the recon. We've been out there, we've driven around, and we get to know these places. And so you don't have to use your precious time off to try to figure out where to go. You just come out here and we can take you to the best spots.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I think that's like so valuable,
That's a great point.
Yeah.
These trips are typically more early season, between the Grand Staircase, this Bears Ears trip, and our flagship trip out on the White Rim Road in Canyonlands.
Mhm.
Those are great early season intro trips. When we get later in the season, our Yellowstone Gravelly Range trip and our Backcountry Idaho Hot Springs trip are both great intro gravel style rides, to get you out in the backcountry and see some really cool stuff.
Mhm.
What
about intro to single track? People that want
to
go on
totally.
Single track.
If you've kind of graduated to, as a new rider, graduated to that need for some single track, we offer a couple rides. One of which is down on the north rim of the Grand Canyon, and half the trip is on the Arizona Trail. Mm-hmm. Super fun. It's a trail that kind of evolved into what we now ride our mountain bikes on.
Yeah.
It's been a through trail for forever. It was used by various groups. Now Western Spirit Trips get to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite trips. It's such a cool trip.
And so between the Arizona Trail, and the fabulous Rainbow Rim Trail on the west side of the Kaibab Plateau, which is mountain bike specific. It's a sustainably built trail.
Yeah.
Great for intro, beginner, intermediate style riders.
Yeah.
And that's something we typically offer during the summer months. High elevation, you're beating the heat. Good place to ride.
Yeah. Yep, and you're camping on the north rim of the Grand Canyon.
It's so on the rim of the Grand Canyon.
Are unreal. It's really cool.
You wouldn't want to miss it.
Yeah.
We like to say around here.
Yes, definitely. So when is the best time to go on a trip? If people are thinking about booking a trip and they aren't sure when to go, how to go about that.
There's a couple ways to go about it, especially with everybody's uncertainty this past year. Mm-hmm. Whether it's hard to take time off of work, or you just got a bike and you're not sure which trip's right for you. The best way is to give us a call. We have a handful of guides in the office here that love to find the right trip for the right person at the right time. And so the best time to go is dependent on your schedule. If you're flexible, we have a whole slew of options for you. And it really is just a matter of picking up the phone. We love to chat with you about it. We like to talk about bikes.
We love talking about bikes.
That's kind of our thing. Mm-hmm. And we go to some really cool places that, as a new rider, you wouldn't want to miss out on.
Yeah. It's a great way to get into the sport, to hone in your skills, to make the most of the time off that you have. It's a really cool experience to be had. Are there any other questions that people have asked, or?
We've got a couple things coming in here. Awesome. Manny's been on some trips. He loves the Groover. We talked about the Groover last time. We're not going to talk about it this time, Manny.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see you this season, Manny.
That's great. We love hearing from folks that have been on previous trips.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's our average speed on these trips? What's an average MPH on intro rides? Depending on our elevation gain and loss, and that kind of just means how much we're climbing and descending each day. I would say being in the saddle, doing some of our climbs on an intro trip, you're probably going average 8 miles an hour. You're probably going 8 to 10 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. Going downhill as an intro rider depends on how savvy you are with your brakes. We love to do tech talks. Anytime we bust the maps out in the morning and get the riders set up for the day, we're going to do a tech talk. We're going to talk about body positioning. Mm-hmm. Your guides are going to say this is how this is the best braking technique. And so your speed for the day is, predicated upon how comfortable you are on the bike. And so, gosh, average speed, max speed. If I'm bombing down one of the passes off the Backcountry Hot Springs trip, I'm probably doing 20 to 25 miles an hour comfortably. And that sounds like a good time to me.
Yeah, and it's just what you're comfortable
Yeah.
with. In the spring and fall, we do the White Rim of in Canyonlands a lot. That's a really popular trip. And there are sections that some people walk, and some sections that people like fly down, and some sections that
Yeah.
people do a mix of both. So, you,
The cool thing about our trips also is we get this whole range of folks. We get this awesome group dynamic,
yeah,
and we definitely push for the ride at your own pace, have a good time.
hmm
We're not rushing to camp.
yep,
And something I've always been asked as a guide, and I'm sure Brittany you've been asked this as well. Um, say people aren't used to that or the group ride situation, and you might feel like you're going too slow and you're holding the group back. What's the best way to explain to someone, Brittany? I mean, I know I have my tactics. What do you like to tell folks?
yeah. If they're worried about holding the group back,
speed or being too fast or having to wait. I mean, what's the
yeah, so we do have within a group of people, we kind of have your faster riders, your slower riders, and people in the middle, and that'll fluctuate sometimes throughout the trip. But the people that are maybe going to be ahead of the group will tell them where to wait for everyone so that they can ride comfortably and not have to slow down their pace. And people that maybe ride a little bit slower, they want to take their time, maybe they want to take a lot of photos. We always have a guide either with you or behind you, so you're never going to be left from the group. You're never going to get lost because we will have, someone who's going to kind of hang back with you. Our goal is that everyone's having fun and that it's comfortable and there's no rush. We're out there. We've got the day. We have plenty of food. So it's really a no pressure situation. What's most important is that at the end of the day, we're all at camp and we have dinner together and, we sit by either a campfire or sit at the views and everyone just had their own experience that day. So yeah, there's no pressure at all.
Totally.
Yeah.
We're out there to be safe and have a good time.
Exactly.
Is what it boils down to.
That's the goal.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I think we've got to answer a bunch of these great questions coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And Brittany, if you don't have anything else to add, I think that was a great kind of intro to our intro trips.
Yeah, intro to the intro. Hopefully we'll see some of you guys out there this season. I'll be on the White Rim a bunch this spring. So if any of you guys are going to be on a White Rim trip, maybe I'll see you out there. Or maybe we'll see you in the summer. And thanks for tuning in.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks everybody. Join us in a couple weeks here. We're going to be back. I think it's April 8th.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have someone new. You'll meet a new guide. We'll answer some questions for you. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yep.
We'll see you out on the trail or give us a call here at Western Spirit and come ride with us. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Take care.